Hello everyone, Pete Brooker here with a match report from License to Grill 2, Another Way to Fry. It was Anastasia's birthday last weekend and I invited a lot of Bond nuts around, some Bond friends I should say. And the chats around the campfire, around the barbecue were getting quite heated. Maybe heated's not the right word, but people were very passionate, especially when we broached the subject of who should play the next Bond. And should Bond be a woman? Should Bond be black? So I thought I'd touch upon some of those subjects now and give you my thoughts and the thoughts of others. So who should play the next Bond? Well, Aaron Taylor-Johnson's obviously been heavily linked. We all know that. Nothing's been confirmed. And a friend of mine at the party asked, had I thought about James Norton for the role of Bond? And now, admittedly, I've not seen James Norton in anything. I've not seen him in Napa Valley. He's done some stage work. In fact, my friend said, well, look, I've just seen him in a play called A Little Life. He was on stage for 2.5 hours and he absolutely crushed it. So it's interesting because he's the right age profile, and we started showing pictures of James Norton versus Aaron Taylor-Johnson on our phones and passed them around the barbecue, and our friends were going, well, James Norton is better looking because Aaron Taylor-Johnson is almost too good looking. And then we started talking about the idea that Bond shouldn't be too good looking, or at least the actor playing Bond shouldn't be too good looking. But of course, that theory isn't watertight, and Pierce Brosnan's the best looking Bond that we've had, right? Roger Moore, close second, both did stand-up jobs as Bond. Now, let's look at the odds. We have currently Aaron Taylor-Johnson at 2-1. We've got James Norton. He's in the running. He's there, 5-1. So I would say the smart money is still on Aaron. Someone that also came up in conversation is Matt Smith. You've probably seen him in The Crown or Doctor Who. Now, Matt Smith isn't even on this odds checker. I did some other research. Apparently, he's around about the 20-1 mark. Now, Matt Smith has even said in interviews that he's not good looking enough to play Bond. Yet, what if they do a period Bond? What if they go back and kind of do a 50s, 60s version of Bond? Don't you think he has got that kind of time period look about him? Almost a Hoagie Carmichael look, as Vesper once described Bond. Okay, but let's move on now to Has Bond Gone Too Woke? This is where it really went through the gears at the barbecue. Now, we went to the early hours of the morning talking about, should Bond be black? What's the problem with Bond being a woman? Now, for my money, I don't care what the color of the skin is who plays Bond. I feel like if you're saying, well, Fleming wrote him as white, he should be white, then you're treating that as gospel. I mean, that's way too fundamentalist. You'll never bring Bond into the New Ages if you just take everything that Fleming said and wrote as gospel. That's my opinion. So let's have it as a meritocracy. The best man wins. The best actor gets the gig. And it's got to be a man for my money. And here's why. And this is what I've always maintained. What separates Bond from Bourne, from Mission Impossible, is that I enjoy watching Bond use his power of seduction to womanize, to infiltrate whatever the scheme, the villain's lair. I like to see that element of Bond because I supplant myself. I live vicariously through Bond. So I put myself in Bond's position when that happens and I get to dream. And this was the argument against that, which I hadn't really thought of. Well, what's wrong with a woman using her powers of seduction? Can't she just do that as easily? Well, we've seen it done before many a time. Xenia on a top comes to mind. The Miami girl in Octopussy. And Rasika Miklos, perhaps my favorite. But I'm selfish. That's all it comes down to. I just want my Bond to be a man so I can live like Bond does, right? Now, I did feel like we got a soft launch with 007 being a woman, with Nomi playing 007, or Lashana Lynch, I should say, in No Time to Die. I feel like she did a stand-up job. I think she did everything that she was asked to do. She kicked ass. I loved her competitive streak. I thought that was a very Bondian thing for her to be that competitive in the role. But would I be interested in seeing a Nomi spin-off? Well, I'd watch it. Of course I'd watch it, but then I watched Road to a Million, right? And less said about that, the better. So, overall, I don't think Bond has gone woke at all, really, for my money. I feel like they should come back for Bond 26 and concentrate on just having a really good script, a really good plot, have all of the ingredients of Bond that we've liked in the past, but just make them better. Have a bit more creativity in the set pieces. I feel like that's definitely what No Time to Die suffered from. Bring back the car chases where a car would go on a speed ramp on top of a moving bus, smash through a barrier, have another car chop it in half. That kind of creativity in those sequences, I feel like that's what we need to get back to for Bond 26. I'm not really thinking Bond is woke at all, but hey, that's just me. So those were just some of the hot button topics that were going around the barbecue. It did get quite heated at times, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was great fun. And we're all very passionate about our Bonds. I know I am. So thanks for watching, listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.